What's up, peeps? Ron P from WiseGuyBets here with some picks. DraftKings main slate. We got 6 games on the slate. What I'm gonna do is try to give you some value plays, players that I try to value. I try to select players under 6,000 DraftKings salary that's going to provide value, 5x, 6x, and hopefully 7x their salaries. 2 guards, 2 forwards, 1 center. Let's get right into it and look at the point guard position. And we're looking at Cameron Payne for Phoenix. He's a backup point guard. Cameron Johnson is out, which can mean a little bit more opportunity. He's 4,400 on DraftKings. He has a projection of 27. His minute projection is 25. He gives us 0.98 fantasy points per minute. The matchup is pretty even tonight against Toronto. They defend the point guard position decently. So let's look at his game log. He has 17 fantasy points in 21 minutes. Last game prior to that, he had 25 fantasy points in 18 minutes. Prior to that, 13 fantasy points in 21 minutes. Prior to that, 30 fantasy points in 23 minutes. Prior to that, 13 fantasy points in 21 minutes. So he's up and down. As you can see, his minute projection is 25. I think he gets that 27 based on the information that I see. So I like Cameron Payne at the point guard position tonight. Let's look at the shooting guard position, and we're going to go to the Golden State Warriors versus Memphis game, and we're going to look at DeAnthony Melton. He's 4,700 on DraftKings. His projection for the night is 22. His minute projection is 22. He gives us 1.22 fantasy points per minute. He has a 97% bargain rating, which is very good. Tonight, they're facing Golden State. Let's take a look at his last 10. Well, his last, we'll look at his last 5 game log. His last game, he had 15 fantasy points in 19 minutes. Prior to that, he had 34 fantasy points in 23 minutes. Prior to that, he had 27 and 21. Prior to that, he had 37 and 25. Prior to that, he had 20 and 21 minutes. So you can see he's been playing very well, getting anywhere between 19 and 25 minutes. His minute projection for the night is 22. And again, he's giving us 1.22 fantasy points per minute. I like him in his position. I think he can possibly get to 30 fantasy points tonight. If he do, that would be great. But even if he reaches his projection of 22, I would be happy with that. So DeAnthony Melton is someone I'm looking at the shooting guard position. Let's look at the small forward position. We're going to go to the OKC versus Washington game, and we're going to look at Lucas Dort for OKC. He's 5,200 on DraftKings. His projection for the night is 29. His minute projection is 32, which I really like. He gives us 0.79 fantasy points per minute. So that's a little lower than I like, but I do like his minute projection tonight. I do like the up and down the court pace that we're going to get from Washington versus OKC. Let's look at his last 5 games. So that's 5. He's given us 24 over 28 minutes, 28 over 27 minutes, 16 over 33 minutes, 24 over 35 minutes, and 32 over 33 minutes. So that fits into, his last month stats of giving us 0.79 fantasy points per minute. I think he can have a bigger night tonight. The matchup is not bad. Projection 29. If he gives us 29 on a $5,200 salary, I will take that. So Lucas Dort is someone I'm looking at the small forward position. Let's go to the power forward position. We're going to the LA Clippers versus Denver game. We're going to look at Serge Ibaka. Serge is 4,000 on DraftKings with a projection of 22. He has a minute projection of 20. He gives us 1.05 fantasy points per minute. Let's look at Serge's last 5 games. Last game, he gave us 23 fantasy points over 21 minutes. Prior to that, he gave us 2 fantasy points over 8 minutes. Prior to that, he gave us 19 over 20 minutes. Prior to that, he gave us 25.5 over 20 minutes. And prior to that, he gave us 15 over 22 minutes. So you see they're pretty consistent with Serge being right around that 20 to 22 minute time that he gets per game. His minute projection for tonight is 20. His projection points is 22. Not a bad matchup. Like the matchup, 4,000. He gives us 22. That would be good. That's someone you can slip into your lineup who's going to 5x their salary and put some, other great players around it. Let's look at the center. I like Mike Muscala at the center position for OKC. His projection for tonight is 18. His projection minutes is 15. He's given us 1.17 fantasy points per minute. He has a favorable matchup against the Washington Senators. They do not defend that position that well. He's only 3,200. He's someone you can put in your lineup and then surround him with some great players. But, his minutes projection is only 15. Hopefully he can get more than that. Let's look at his last 5 games. Over his last 5, he's given us 15 fantasy points over 14 minutes, 19 fantasy points over 12 minutes, 26 fantasy points over 16 minutes. I see his matchup tonight being more like the Minnesota matchup. Washington just does not defend that position very well. 6 fantasy points over 15 minutes and 16 fantasy points over 14 minutes. So I like Muscala in this position tonight at the center position. I say definitely you can put him in, maybe a scrubs and stars lineup. But I like his low salary. I think he can potentially 6x, 7x his salary. So Mike Muscala is someone I like at the center position tonight. So let's briefly recap my value picks for tonight. We have Cameron Payne, Phoenix, DeAnthony Melton, Memphis, small forward, Lucas Dort, OKC, Serge Ibaka, power forward, Clippers, Mike Muscala, center, OKC. If my picks help you, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. That would be greatly appreciated. That's all I have for today. Until the next video. Peace.